Okay. Very good afternoon to all.
Good afternoon.
Especially today's speaker. Hello. Very good afternoon to all. Especially Professor Manas Ranjan Hota sir. He is today's our speaker for this lecture. And secondly, coordinator for this month, Professor Anand Paul sir. So I would like to invite Professor Anand Paul sir to introduce today's session, Professor Manas Ranjan Hota sir, and to start today's lecture.
Good afternoon. Namaskar. Good afternoon to all. This is, I think, 67th single lecture series, no? Today's. So we
Yes,
are
sir.
fortunate to have with us today Professor Manas Ranjan Hota sir, who is at present working as a principal and superintendent at Bharti Ayurved Medical College at Durg. Dr. Manas Hota has completed his graduation from the Utkal University, Odisha, and PG from the University of Calcutta. Dr. Hota completed his doctorate degree from reputed National Institute of Ayurveda and Dr. S.R. Rajasthan Ayurveda University. Sir has worked at various places as a teaching faculty member at Uttarachal Ayurved College, Dehradun, then Tibia College, then government colleges of Gujarat he worked, and since last 4 or 5 years he is working as a principal at Bharti Medical College. Sir has visited Mahidol University, Bangkok, Thailand also twice as a visiting professor. Dr. Hota has published many research papers in the various journals and also presented papers at national and international seminars. Dr. Manas Hota has attended many CME's reorientation program as a participant as well as a resource person also. So today we are fortunate to have him as a professor, invited speaker, and I request him to start his presentation on Unmad.
On Gulma, sir.
Gulma, sorry. Last time Shita Pitta Dhavi. Gulma.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for a nice introduction. Let me start my PPT.
Hello.
Yes. Is my screen visible now?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Yes, visible.
Okay. On the outset, before starting, I would like to say the Mangalacharan. Ragadi Rogan Sattatan Shaktan Asheshakaya Prashatan Asheshan Utsukya Moha Ratidan Jagana Yopurva Vaidyaya Namaste. This lecture, what I'm going to deliver today, is a process of the three-step learning method, Adhyan, Adhyapan, and Tadvit Sambhasa. I have done Adhyan under some gurus, Recently, I'm a student of a Guru Shishya Parampara of 125 years and 5 generations long. Now the torchbearer, my Guru, Vaidya Hiten Vaja is there, and under his academy, Vedotpatti Vidyashala, I'm a student. So I would like to salute the Apurva Vaidya, Bhagavan Dhanvantari, and also the Purva Vaidya from whom I have learned, particularly Vaidya Hiten Vaja. And also, while searching to understand this topic, Gulma, I got a lot of information from another stalwart and torchbearer of a Guru Sishya Parampara, Vaidya Abhijit Sharaf. So I would like to acknowledge all my previous gurus, particularly Vaidya Hiten Vaja and Vaidya Abhijit Sharaf for this lecture. After doing the Adhyayana, now I will be doing the second part, that is Adhyapan. And later on, because everyone present in today's lecture, particularly the Rog Nidan people, so I'll be happy and if we could have a very good Tadvit Sambhasa after this Adhyapana of understanding of Gulma. So let me start. Before going to Gulma, I choose this topic because since my being a student of Ayurved since last 26, 27 years, the topic Gulma is a very confusing one. I don't know for others, but it was for me. So there was a doubt in understanding, but to the contrary, when we see to the Samhitas, we see that in Nidan Sthan, only 8 chapters are there, and out of one of them is Gulma. It suggests that it is definitely of very high importance. But to the contrary, in the practice of Ayurveda, even the roaring practitioners who have 300 and 200 patients in their OPD seldom diagnose Gulma. There may be some, definitely there are many who may be diagnosing, but still while teaching, while being a student and later on being a teacher, I felt that this subject, there is some problem maybe in understanding the subject. But definitely the topic of Gulma is of prime importance. And this, if we understand this may show light to a new window. This may open a new window. So with this much of introduction of this importance of the disease, I will start. When we start reading Charak Nidan, Gulma Nidan, in the outset, it has been mentioned that nahi avisheshavid rogana aushadhavidapi vishak prashamana shamartho bhavati. We all know this sloka. May you know a lot of formulations, or you may have the knowledge of a lot of medicine, but unless and until you are not a roga visheshavid, it is impossible to prashama, to make the treatment. You may get yadrucha siddhi, but for siddhi, in all respect, we need to have a roga visheshavid. So a physician, though versed in science of medicine, will not be able to alleviate diseases without the knowledge of their special character. And being a Nidaniya, we all are supposed to be a Rog Visheshavid. And this thing has been described in the Gulma Adhyaya, Gulma Nidana Adhyaya. This description implies that Gulma is definitely, surely a disease of prime importance, and at the same time, it is difficult to understand also. And we all are experiencing this, though there is a lot of research and though there is a lot of efforts have been put to understand the pathophysiology of Ayurveda. So why it is so? Actually, I was searching why these things are occurring, that it is becoming difficult for us to understand Gulma. To have a better understanding of Ayurveda, first of all, we need to follow the proper methodology of reading Samhita. Before 6 years, I was also unaware of all these things, but after being initiated as a student of a Guru Shishya Parampara, I could know this. The basic problem, I would like to address a basic problem. The basic problem is we all are conditioned to understand physiology, anatomy, and biochemistry. And for this conditioning, a lot of time, a long 12 years we have spared. And during the modern time in nursery, and if we add all this, then a period of about 15 years is invested. If student put 15 years of his or her life so that he can understand physiology, anatomy, and biochemistry when you get admitted in a medical college. And so learning English, learning physics, learning chemistry, learning biology helps us to understand all these subjects. That's why diet and physiology is much more easier to understand than the Sarir, Kriya Sarir of Ayurveda. PD Chaurasya anatomy is much more easier to understand than the Sharir of Ayurveda. The reason must be, the reason is we are not conditioned actually to read Ayurveda. And at the same time, we are, after in initiation or after getting admission to BMS, we start reading Ashtanga Hridaya and Padarth Vigyan and Sharir Kriya and nothing. So this is a practical problem. In previous time, about 8 years, for preparation, there was a period of about 8 years in which we used to study the basic sciences, Indian basic sciences, so that when they are initiated into a Ayurveda course, they can understand all these, samhitas in a better way. So for this Ayurveda, to understand this, first of all, we need to follow the proper methodology of reading samhita. Though I have started late, if you put effort, gradually you can do that. When it comes to Gulma, understanding of Gulma, what we do is we just start, reading this Chikitsasthana. Or if we think that there may be something in the Nidansthana, then Nidansthana and Chikitsasthana. But Sutrasthana is the Sira of the Tantra. Tantra Sasya Siram Subham. Unless until everything is connected, all the sthanas are not connected with the Sutrasthana, it becomes very difficult to properly understand the other sthanas of the Samhita. So first of all, we are lacking the basic preparation to read Samhita. And secondly, we are not following the proper methodology of reading chronologically the Samhita. For Nidanya, what I observe and what I have learned is, it is mandatory to understand the concepts of Nirdesh Chatushka, Roga Chatushka, Sangrahadvaya, Swastavritta and Annapana Chatushka of Sutrasthan of Charak Samhita. Because this Nirdesha Chatushka mainly deal with the clinical methods. Roga Chatushka deal with the basic clinical pathology. In other way, we can say that all the clinical pathology that we continue to read in Anyasthanas and the Chikitsa Sthana of Ayurveda, of Charak Samhita or Agnivishatantra, the initial point is there in the Roga Chatuska. Sanghradvaya is the basic principle of the prognosis. Swasthavritta Chatuska, Nidan, Annapana Chatuska are of prime importance because Swasthavritta and Annapana Viparyaya is the Hetu. If we see the Nidan or Hetu of any diseases, they are what we will find. We will just find the Swasthavritta and Annapana Viparyaya. So, unless and until one does not know the Prakrita Avastha, it becomes very difficult to appreciate the Vikriti. So, the initial part of studying Ayurveda or understanding any disease should be started from the Sutrasthana. As I said, for understanding Gulma, we need to search it in the Sutrasthana. So let us see where it is described. It is described in the Trisothya Adhyaya. In Trisothya Adhyaya, firstly, the basic concepts of Sotha is described, then Nija and Agantuja Sotha, then Samanya Sotha and Ekadeshya Sotha. A group of Pradeshik Sotha is described. If we see from the sloka number 19 to 36, the Pradeshika Sotha, Chakrapani put the word Pradeshika Shokhatna, Sotha Naha. Samprati Utseda Samanya Pradeshika Shothatna. In the Tika of Charak Sutra 18, slok number 19 to 36. It means starting from 19 to 36, in Trisothya Adhyaya, Pradeshika Shotha are being described. And out of them, in the 29th sloka, Gulma is described. So what does it mean? Simply it means that Gulma is a Sotha. Which kind of Sotha? It is a Nija Sotha. And again, which kind? It is a Pradeshika Nija Sotha. So this thing we should keep in mind while proceeding to understand the other aspects of this disease. So here it says, Yasya Vayuhu Prakupito Gulma Sthane Avatisthate Shofam Shashulam Janayan Gulmastyasya Upajayate. There are three factors. One is Vayu Prakupito, where Gulma Sthane, and what are the cardinal features? Shofam and Shulam. It means in Gulma Sthana, because of Vayu Prakopa, if there is Shofa and Shula, that condition can be termed as Gulma. So let us try to understand it even more. We will try to understand this Vayu Prakop, how Vayu Prakop occurs. Secondly, what is this Gulma Sthana is all about. This sloka is from Charak Chikitsa, Gulma Chikitsa, sloka number 5. Beat Shleshma Pitta Ati Parishavadva Tereva Vruddhi Paripedanatva Begair Udiranai Vihitair Rodheva Bahya Avighadeir Ati Pidanairva Rukshanna Paneir Ati Shevitairva Shokena Mithya Pratikarmanava Vichestitairva Vishama Atimatai Kosthe Prakopam Samupeti Vayu. It says that what is the Gulma sthana? Vayu get vitiated or prakopana of Vayu occurs in Gulma sthana, and the Gulma sthana is Kostha. What is Kostha? Amapakvashaya and Margastharasa. From Guru Krupa, we have learned that Amashaya, Pakvashaya, and Margastharasa. What is Margastharasa? The rasa can be divided into two parts, Margastharasa and Sthanastharasa. The reference is there in Viman, Sutra Viman, Srotas Viman. In Margastharasa, Parinama Apadya Manana Dhatu is being transported. So, Amashaya, Pakvashaya, and Margastharasa, in these three areas, the prakopa of Vayu occurs in Gulma. Again, let us try to understand this prakopa, Vayu prakopa. So to understand this prakopa, we need to go to again to Sutrasthana. Sutrasthana, Patakalakali Adhyay. Bato prakopanani khalu. Ruksha, Laghu, Shita, Daruna, Khara, Vishada, Shushira Karani, Sharirani, Sharirana. Because of the hetu of Vayu prakopa, what they do first? They Sharirana, Ruksha Karani, Sharirana, Laghu Karani, Sharirana, Shita Karani, Sharirana, Darun Karani, Khara Karani, Vishada Karani, Shushira Karani. So the intake of the hetu of Vayu prakopa is response. The first event that occurs is Ruksha Karani, Laghu Karani, Shita Karani, Daruna Karani, Khara Karani, Vishada Karani, Shushira Karani, according to the Urja of the Nidan, Vikrut Urja of the Nidan, or 2, 1, 2, or many of these will occur in the Sharira. Tatha vidheshu sharireshu vayuhu ashrayam gatva. The second event that occurs is Vayu get ashrit in that particular area where there is this Rukhyadi guna is there. So Rukshata, because of the Rukshata, now Vayu gets obstructed over there, or Vayu gets seated over there. So what will it lead to? It will lead to Shanga of what? Of the Bhajamana Dhatu. So Rukshadi Guna Vriddhi, and second event will be obstruction of the Bhajamana Dhatu, and the third event it will follow is Apyayamana, means it will spread over other spaces too. Apyayamana means the amount will increase to a such extent that it will completely, acquire the complete volume of that particular space, and consequently, Udira of the Dhatu or Vimarga Gamana of the Dhatu will occur. When these four events occur, that condition is called Vayu Prakopa. So when this Vayu Prakopa occurs in Amashaya and Pakvashaya and causes Shula and Shofa, that condition is called Gulma. I think I made my point clear. Then what it leads to? In Charak Chikitsa, Gulma Chikitsa, they say Kapha cha Pittam cha Sadusta Vayu Ruddhyo Margan Binibaddha Tattham. So not only the Vayu, now the Vayu will also obstruct Kapha and Pitta too. And later on, the symptom of Shula will be produced at Root, Nabhi, Parshva, Udara, Basti. Now we know that these 5 places are Gulma places where the symptom is manifested. But the Gulma Sthana is Kostha. This thing we need to put in our mind. Then only it will be easier for us to understand the complete concept of Gulma. So the symptom will be manifested at Ruth, Nabhi, Parshva, Dara, Basti. Basti means the lower part of the umbilical. Ruth means the chest area. And Parshva means the 3 quadrants, the 6 quadrants, 6 lateral quadrants of the 9 quadrants of the abdomen. So the pain will be manifested in the abdominal area, particularly this 9 quadrants along with the chest, because of Vayu Prakopa in the Kostha, particularly Amashaya and Pakvashaya. And the symptom will be Shula and Shofa. So when all these things are there, to that condition only we can say Gulma. While searching before going through this preparation of this lecture, I was searching some research paper, some review, where it is called, in some places it is called phantom tumor. In some places it is described as Vayu become like a pendulakar form. Vayu takes a pendulakar form. In some other places it is described as diverticulum. But now we can have a simple understanding that Vayu get obstructed and Rukshata occurs in the Kostha or Amapakvashaya. Actually, in Chakrapani Tika, Chakrapani has very clearly mentioned this. If you go through the Tika, it says the Visheshana, this Rukshadi and Kathina, this Visheshana is used for Pakvashaya, for Amapakvashaya or for Mahashrotas. It is not for Vayu. Vayu get obstructed. Vayu get prakopit and it obstructs the Pitta and Kapha. And Apyaman and Udiran and Vimarga Gamanaka. But basically, Gulma is a Pradeshika Shota of Amapakvashaya. Here, Amapakvashaya means starting from the oral cavity till the anal, till anus. Mukha, starting from Mukha till Guda. So the Pradeshika Shota, starting from Mukha to Guda, because of Vata Prakopa, manifested with the symptom of Shula and Shofa and manifested at the 9th quadrant and chest region of the body is called Gulma. So now let us try to give a look to the other descriptions. Actually, I will tell only the things of in between the lines. We have all studied Samhitas repeatedly. So what I have understood by the Adhyayana, I am going to do the Adhyapan. So I will not speak it in detail of all about all the points, but what I am going to speak is the thing in between the line which will help us to understand this is in a better way. So now, iha khalu panchagulma bhavanti tadyatha vatagulmaha, ittagulmaha, shleshma gulmaha, nichaya gulmaha, shonita gulmaha, gulmam iti. So this gulma, the process that we described now, the vata prakopana in the Mahasrotas and Manifestation of the symptom in these 5 places can occur in 5 different ways. And what are the 5 different ways? In Vata ways, in Pitta ways, in Sleshma ways, in Nichaya ways, and in Sonita ways. Sonita Gulma is a bit different. When we will come to that part, we will discuss on that. So let us see what happens in Vata Gulma. Yada Purusho Vatalo Visheshana Jwara Vamana Virechana Ati Sharana Anyatamena Karshane Vatala Vatalam Aharam Aharati Sitamba Visheshena Atimatram Asneha Purve Va Vamana Virechane Pibati Anudiranam Va Sardim Udirayati Udiranan Vatamutra Purisha Vegan Nirunanti. These are all the cause or hetu of Vata Prakop. I'm not going to read till end because it will take a lot of time. But all these are the hetu of Vata Prakop, not the hetu of Gulma. We need to understand this. Because for Gulma, Vata Prakopa is mandatory. So after this Vata Prakop in Chikitsa, in Gulma Nidan, it is concised. Rukshannapanam Vishmatimatam Vichastitam Vega Vinigrahascha Shoka Abhitapah Soka Abhighata Ati Malakshayascha Nirannata Cha Anila Gulmam Hetu. But we need to understand this, the pathophysiology. Saprakupitaha Vayuhu Mahashrotah Anupravishya. Now the Agnivesha or Maharshi Atreya is making it very clear. Saprakupitaha. The Vayu being Prakupitaha Mahashrotah Anupravishya. There it was said only Kostha. First he said Gulmasthane. Then he said Kostha. Now he is becoming very specific. Saprakupito Vayuhu Mahashrotah Anupravishya. Rokshat Kathini Bhutam Aplutya. Now the pathophysiology is proceeding further. Because Sutrasthana mainly deal with the Vikaravastha. Nidanasthana and Anyasthana deal with Rogaavastha. And Chikitsasthana deal with Vyadhyavastha. What is the basic difference between Roga, Vikara, Roga and Vyadhi? Roga are Rogastu Dhatu Vaishamyam. Here Dhatu are definitely, not definitely the 13 Dhatu Pratana only, starting from Vayu till Mutra Purishashmita. Here, when Acharya says Vikaro Dhatu Vaishamyam, he is referring the 24 Dhatu of Katidha Purishyam. Because without the involvement of mind, no Vikara can occur. And in this, mind is not there. So here, while he says Vikaro Dhatu Vaishamya, he indicates towards the Vaishamya, Kshaya Vruddhi of 24 Dhatu. So these are Vikara Avastha. And mainly in Sutrasthan of any Samhita, the Vikara Avastha are mainly dealt with. Nidanasthana and Anyasthana deal with Roga Avastha. What are Roga? Roga Sudosha Vaishamya. When these 3 Dhatu, Vayu, Pitta and Kapha, they get doshatva, means doshatva prapti. When the doshatva prapti of these 3 dhatu occurs and they become dosha, then they vitiate the dushya. Neither they perform their work properly, and at the same time they also hamper other dushya, other dhatu, or they become notorious and they disturb the functions of other dhatu too. When these conditions occur, this is called doshatva. They start the function of dhatu vibhanjan. And these conditions are rogavastha. And these rogas are mainly dealt with in nidana sthana and anya sthana. And the third aspect of the pathogenesis is vyadhi, dosha dushya samurchana janito vyadhi. So now dosha and dushya get amalgamated in such a way that samurchana occurs, and there the general principle of treatment of upakrama will not work, and you need to apply the Chikitsa Sutra. That's why they are dealt with in the Chikitsa Sthana. So, because, according to the sankalpa of that adhyaya, or the content, or the regime, or the capacity, or where what should be described, accordingly, the description proceeds further. So here in Nidana, again, the description is going further. And Roksha, he says, in Mahasrotas, Roksha occurs. How Rokshata comes, we have already discussed. And Rokshata increases to up to such an extent that it becomes Kathini Bhutam. It becomes hard. Pindito avasthanam karoti. And now it seems like a pinda because of the Kathinata. And where? To the Vastu, Pasha, Natu. We have already discussed it. And Shashulam Upajanayati. Granthischa Aneka Vidhan. Now it gets further transmitted or transformed into different size of Granthi. Again, Pinditascha Avatishtate. And they become like a Pinda. Sa Pinditatvat Gulma iti avidhyate. So here the Pindititva is not occurring with Vayu. It is occurring at the Mahasrotas. This is, we need to understand that this understanding changed the concept of Gulma in me personally. That it is not occurring to Vayu. The Pindita Avastha is not occurring to Vayu. It is occurring to the Mahasrotas, a part of the Mahasrotas or the whole Mahasrotas. In one part of the Mahasrotas, in two parts of the Mahasrotas, in different parts of the Mahasrotas, or the whole Mahasrotas may be involved. But Pinditatva is not occurring to the Vayu. Vayu is being vitiated, it is being prokopit. But the Pindita Avastha is in the Srotas, and particularly in the Mahasrotas. That is Amapakvashaya. That is starting from the mouth till the anus. Now these are the clinical features of Bharti Gulma. Sa muhur adhamati muhur alpam apadyate aniyata vipula anu vedanascha, that is visamata in pain and all that. So these are the lakshana. I will not read one and all. We have books with us. We can go through. I will only touch the few of the important points that I think or that have changed my perception. So I want that everyone should know this. So here the Upadrava of Bharti Gulma is being described. Pliha, Atupa, Antrapujana, Abhipaka, Udavarta, Angamarda, Manya, Shiraha, Shankha, Shula, Bradhana Roga. So here the Samhitakar is indicating that not only the Mahasrotas, in Upadrava Avastha, the organs associated with Mahasrotas, organs like Pliha, will be involved. This is from चिकित्सा स्थान. Here karoti jirane abhi adhikam prakopam bhukte mrudu api. This is the cardinal feature of Bharti Gulma that we all know. Now comes the samprapti or pathophysiology of Bharti Gulma. तैरेव तु कर्षणे कर्षितस्य means कर्षित person by having the Vata Prakopit Nidana or Hetu, तैरेव तु कर्षणे means Vata Prakop is mandatory in Gulma. So he starts with तैरेव तु कर्षणे. So someone who is afflicted with Vata Prakop, when he indulges in Pitta Prakopa Hetu, that is Amla, Lavana, Katu, Shara, Ushna, Tikshna, Shukta, Vyapanna, Madhya, Harita, Phala, Amlana, Vidahina, Shaka, Dhanya, Mansadina. Then what happens? Sah Marutena Prakopam Apadya. Sandharanam, Bata Tapau, Pittam Saha Marutena Prakopam Apadya. Along with Bata, along with Maruta, Pitta get Prakopet. And then they produce Tat Prakupitam Maruta Amashay Ekadeshai Sambatya. Now this Prakupita Maruta get obstructed, and here the term is Sambatya. It has a movement like a circle. Tat Prakupitam Marutah Amashay Ekadeshe Sambatya. And Paitik Gulma particularly occurs in Amashya Pradesh. That is what the Sangitakar is indicating at. Taneva Vedana Prakaran Upajanayati Shaukta Vata Gulme. Here the Vedana of Vata Gulma will also occur along with Pittam Tvena Vidahati Kukshau Uddhara Shikanthe, and all the Paitik Lakshana will be manifested. These are the symptoms as described in Gulma Chikitsa. Jwaraha Pipasha Badanangaragaha Shulam Mahajiryate Bhojanecha Shredo Vidaho Branavaccha Gulmaha Varsha Shaha Paitika Gulma. Now we need to understand, as I was saying, that the description that is there in the Nidan Sthana is of Rogavastha. Now in Chikitsa Sthan, because it is Vyadhi Avastha, now along with the symptoms of Nidan Sthan, here Vidaho Branavaccha Gulma. Now Branavaccha, now the Sotha or Shopha is get transformed into Brana. In Paitika Gulma, the Shopha and Shula is associated with Brana in Vyadhi Avastha. This is what we need to understand. Now, let us discuss a bit about the pathophysiology of Shleshmika Gulma or Kafaja Gulma. Terevatu Karshane, again, the person who have indulged in Vata Hetu, Karsitasya, Atyashanadi, Snigdha, Guru, Madhura, Shita Shanad, Pista, Ikshu, Shira, Tila, Masha, Guda Vikruti, Shevanad, Mandaka, Madhya, all the Hetu of Kafakara Hetu. If someone get indulged in this thing, Shleshma Shaha Marutena Prakopam Apatyate. Along with Maruta, Shleshma get vitiated And now the symptoms are produced. Tam prakupitam maruta amashaya kadesha samvartya. In pitta and kaphaja gulma, may amashaya pradesh is the mainly gulma sthana. But in batik gulma, the gulma sthana is the whole amapakvashaya. That's why he said, he used the word mahaswatas. And these are the vedana, taneva vedana, different kind of kapha and vata, prakupa's symptoms will be manifested. This is the symptomatology of Chikitsa Sthan. Saimitya, Shita, Jvara, Gatra, Shada, Tullashaka, Kasa, Aruchi, Gauravani, Shaityam, Rug Alpaha, Kathinonnataptvam, Gulmasharupani, Kaphatmakatvam. Now in Chikitsa Sthan, the symptomatology of Dvidosaj Gulma is also there, where Vyamishra Linga will be manifested. Now, the fourth kind of Gulma, Tridosha Hetu Linga Sannipatetu, Sannipatikam Gulmam Upadishyanti Kushala. Sa Viprati Siddha Upakramashyad Ashadhyo Nichaya Gulma. The Sannipatik Gulma is termed as Nichaya Gulma. Here we need to understand one thing, that when Sanhitakar is using another name for a particular, he may have said it is Sannipatik Gulma. But for Sannipatik Gulma, he has used the term Nichaya to indicate its asadhyata. Sarvastuhu disto nichayatmakasya. And the symptom is Maharujam, Daha Paritam, Ashmabad, Ashmabadha Unnotam, Shighra Vidahi Darunam. Along with that, Manaha, Sharira, Agni, Bala, Apaharinam, Tridoshajam Gulmam, Ashadhyam, Adishet. So these are the clinical manifestation of Tridoshaja Gulma. Now, let us try to understand a bit more by understanding the Tika, Ayurved Deepika Tika. Here in Batik Gulma, Vayu get vitiated because of Swatantra Hetu. In Paitika Gulma, because of Swatantra Hetu, along with Vayu, Pitta also get vitiated. In Kaphaja Gulma, along with Vayu, Kapha get vitiated because of Swatantra Hetu. So here Chakrapani is clarifying that Tatra Kapham cha Pittam cheti kadachit Pittam kadachit Kapha. Tatra Kapha je Swatantra Bruddha Kapha. Along with Swatantra Bruddha Vata, Vayu, Swatantra Bruddha Kapha is there and it is being ashrit, means the lodging of Swatantra Bruddha Vikruta Kapha is a mandatory pathological condition in Kaphaja Gulma, in Mahasrotas. For Pittaja Gulma, Pittaja Swahetu Bruddham Swatantra Pittam. Because of the vitiated or Vikruta Vayu, Rukshata and Katinata will be there, and Vayu will get obstructed over there. And also, because of this obstruction, it will obstruct the Vikruta or Prakopita Pitta, and the Kathina Bhava will increase, and the Gulma that will produce by because of this pathological condition is called Pittaja Gulma. is called Pittaja Gulma. In Pittaja Gulma, Vayu obstruct Prakopita Pitta, the Paramanu of Prakopita Pitta. In Kaphaja Gulma, Vayu obstruct the Paramanu of Vikruta Kapha. And the most in Sannipata, ja Yathokta Guna Pitta Kapha. In Sannipatik Gulma or Nichaya Gulma, Vayu, Prakopita Vayu will obstruct or the Mahasrota, in the Mahasrota because of the Kakinata, the Prakopita Pitta and Kapha Anu will be obstructed. But in Vata Gulma, this is very, very interesting actually. In Vata Gulme tu Swatantra Prakopita Vayu Prakrutistho Pitta Kapha Uddhya Gulmam Karoti iti Jnayam. In Vatik Gulma, Vata get obstructed and it obstructs the Prakrut Pitta and Kapha. So in Vatika Gulma, obstruction of Prakrut Pitta and Kapha occurs. In Paitik Gulma, obstruction of Prakopita Pitta occurs. In Kaphaja Gulma, obstruction of Prakopita Kapha occurs. And in Nichaya Gulma, obstruction of Prakopita Pitta and Prakopita Kapha. Unless and until we do not understand this concept in Gulma, it will be very difficult for us for Samprapti Sangathan and as a result and further while treating doing the Samprapti Vigatan. Now we will come to the Shonita Gulma, the fifth Gulma. Shonita Gulmashu Khalu Striya Eva Bhavati Na Purusasya Garbha Kostartava Gamana Vaisheshyat. So, first of all, Acharya is clarifying that Shonita Gulma will not occur in Purusha. It will occur only in the females or the Stri. Why? Because of the presence of Garbha Koshtha, Trayavarta Yoni. So now till now, we were saying that Gulma is a Shrotha, Pradeshika Shrotha of Mahasrotas. Now, in that context, the fifth type of Gulma is Shonita's Gulma. Difficulty in understanding it again occurring because of what I was referring in the beginning, because of absence of the preparatory phase of reading Samhita or understanding Ayurved, Bharatiya applied sciences. Now, this is being described using the Prasanga Tantra Yukti. Prasangataha, because of the importance and some kind of correlation or some kind of relationship, this fifth Shonita Gulma is being described here. This is occurring in the Garbhashaya, Garbhakoshtha. But the pathophysiology is same. What was occurring in the Mahashrotas will occur in the Garbhakoshtha, in Shonita Gulma. Because of the similarity of the pathophysiology, what we were describing recently, that is Vato Prakopa and Rukshadi Guna Vigrudha and Shanga Bhyaman Dhatu and Kachinya Bhava and Apyaman and Udiran or Vimargagaman, everything will occur in that fashion only, in that method only, in that process only, but it will occur in the Garbhakoshtha. And second Mahasiddhant, if you remember, in Chikitsa Sthan, while describing the pathophysiology or introducing Gulma, the Gulma sthana was not Mahashrotas, it was Kostha. So here the Tantrakar is saying that there is a direct relationship of Kostha with Garbha Kostha. So it gives a vast area of understanding all kind of or treating all kind of diseases of Garbha Kostha, that before we can control the diseases or pathological condition of Garbha Kostha by controlling the Mahasrotas or the Kostha, Pakvasha and Margas. Tarasa. Sorry. That is the reason while treating the diseases of the reproductive system, if we take care of the Kostha by Dipan Pachan and Anuloma, 70%, about 60 to 70% of the pathology is. So now, Sunita Gulmash to Khalu Striya. It occurs in mainly in strees, and the Nidana is Paratantrayat, Avaisharadyat, Satatam Upachara Anurodhatva. So these are the Nidana. Vega Udirana is one of the most prominent and important cause. This Sunita Jagulma occurs. So all the symptoms of Garbhadharana occurs because of the Ruddhata of Artava. Saprakupito means Vayu being vitiated. Saprakupito Yonir Mukham Anupravishya Artavam Uparunadhi. In Arta, as it was obstructing Pitta and Kapha in all four kinds of Gulma, here Bata gets vitiated in the same way, and here obstruction of Artava occurs in the Garbha Kostha. And now we know all these symptoms, we have studied it many a times, these occur. And it is mentioned that Yaha Spandate Pindita Eva Nangaschirat Sashula Samagarbhalinga Sa Rodhira Tri Bhava Eva Gulmaha Mashe Vyatite Dashame Chikitsa. So this is the differential diagnosis that we know that it should be treated after 10th month, because we do not know whether it is real Garbha or a Gulma. Now the Purva Rupa, Ananna Vilasham Arochaka Abhipakau Agni Vaishamya Vidaho Tasya Paka Kale Cha Ayukta Charda Udgaroho Batamutra Purisha Vegana Cha Apradurbhavaha Pradurbhutana Cha Aprabruttir Ishat Agamanam Bata Shulatopa. These are the manifestations we do not pay that much importance during our history taking, but a lot of patients actually complain many of the symptoms that I described in the Purva Rupa of Gulma. Now, in Chikitsa Sthan, Shloka number 42-43, Agnivesha has described a symptom where one should refer the case to for surgery, for the Dhanvantara Sampradaya. Didaha Lakshane Gulme, Bahistunge Samunnate, Shyabe Sharakta Paryante, Sansparshe Basti Sannive. निपीडिते उन्नते स्तब्धे सुप्ते तत्पार्श्वपीडनात् तत्रैव पिंडिते शूले संपक्वम गुल्ममादिशे तत्र धान्वन्तर्याणाम अधिकारम क्रिया. So if someone gets these symptoms of all these symptoms in Gulma, one should refer the case to the Dhanvantara Sampradaya or for surgery, and one should not deal with medicine. It may be dangerous. Now, there is another description in Charak Samhita 169 to 171 number shloka. संचितः क्रमशो गुल्म महावास्तु परिग्रह कृतमूलः शिरन्नाद्धो यदा कूर्म इव उन्नत. The gulma, if not treated, it may lead to kurma iva unnat, means stony heart. It will become stony heart, and it can be easily palpable. And there will be shirannadho, and the mula, the shirannadho mula will be deep rooted in the sira, and the size will be big. Along with that, dorbalya aruchi hullasa kasa bami arati jwari trishna tandra pratishaire vidyate nacha siddha. If such kind of manifestation is there, it is the symptom of asadhya gulma. Gruhitya sajjara swasam bami atishara piditam hrunnavi hastapade shopah karshati gulma. So if we have these symptoms in a gulma rogi, we should, this is a symptom of pratyakshaya, so we should counsel the patient that it is not curable. Now there are some basic description about gulma. Sarveshu api khalu eteshu gulmeshu na kaschit vadat rute sambhavati gulma. Gulma can never occur without the vitiation of vata that we have discussed in detail. Tesham sannipatikam asadhyam yatva na upakramet. We should not proceed for treatment for sannipatik because it is asadhya. Pranayet sansustasu sadharanena karma. So in ekadosha shota gulma, we should proceed according to the treatment principle. And in sansusta means when there are involvement of two doshas like pitta. Sansusta means he is saying about the pittaja gulma and kapaja gulma. Sadharana karma should be administered. Sadharana karma means while taking care of one dosha, another dosha should not get vitiated or should not get affected. And in the Bhavanti Chatra, at the end, for the general treatment principle, Acharya says, Gulminam Anila Shanti Rupaye hi Sarveshoha Vidhivat Acharitabhya Marute hi Avajite Anyam Udirnam Dosham Alpamapi Karma Nihanta. So one should target to Maruta Avajaya while treating Gulma, because after doing Maruta treatment, or when we pacify Vata or Maruta, with little effort, all the other doshas can be pacified. And why it will happen, we have understood in detail. Lastly, in 136 shloka in Charak Gulma Chikitsa, Acharya says, Sama prakopau doshanam sarvesham agni sanskritau tasmat agnim sada rakshet nidanadi chabari. Nidana parivarjan along with agni rakshan is the basic treatment protocol for all kinds of diseases. So also in Gulma. So we can conclude now. I will conclude the lecture. In conclusion, now we can say that Gulma is a disease of the gastrointestinal tract. So any inflammatory condition of the gastrointestinal tract are Gulma, whether it is stomatitis, starting from stomatitis, gingivitis, till arsha or piles or fistula, where the Mahasotas is involved in a inflammatory condition and pain is there, that condition is Gulma. It had nothing to do with Vayu ka gola. Arsha, Grahani, Mukharoga, Shula, all kinds of diseases, starting from simple inflammation to ulcer and even carcinoma of the gastrointestinal tract, all these are included under the description of Gulma. Because of Visheshta or specificity, again in Chikitsa Sthan, Grahani Roga and Arsa Roga and other kinds of, particularly these two diseases are described. The basic pathology of any kind of inflammation or shota, which is manifested with Shula in the gastrointestinal tract, starting from mouth to anus, will be considered, should be considered under the disease Gulma. With this, I would like to thank the organizer and considering me, I would like to thank them because they considered me worthy for a single lecture. And I'll be happy if there is some question or we can have a Tadbit Sambhasa if time allows.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I request Professor answer.
Yes, thank you very much, Professor Manas Ranjan Hota, for your very descriptive presentation of most neglected topic of the Rog Nidan, that is Gulma. And really it was a very good presentation and in-depth detailed description was given by Professor Manas Ranjan Hota. Personally, मैं बात करूँ तो even during my clinical practice of almost 22 to 25 years, I have not diagnosed any patient with the term Gulma. Maybe शायद हम इतना उसके बारे में ज़्यादा सोचते नहीं है या वो कंसेप्ट ही ऐसा है शायद कि इवन मुझे जो लगता है कि इवन विद द एडवांसमेंट ऑफ रेडियोलॉजिकल प्रोसीजर एंड ऑल डायग्नोस्टिक मेथड्स now it has become very easy to make a diagnosis of underlying any abdominal pathology or any, जैसे आपने बोला कि it is not a simple vatic gola but many pathological conditions are there which we can correlate with the term Gulma. So very nice presentation, and as it seems very difficult practically, it seems easy theoretically, तो comparatively practically बहुत ही difficult है. Even जैसे बोला कि स्टूडेंट को भी बताने में समझाने में वो थोड़ा डिफिकल्टी है. एक मुझे क्या याद आता है कि almost 20 years back I had one female patient, her age was around 58 to 60 years. She was having the abdominal pain और उसको जब मैंने examination किया तो it was in the right hypochondriac region में enlargement था. तो previous I thought that it is a liver enlargement और वैसे ही लग रहा था सब. जैसे हम ये हो जाता है तो हमें थोड़ा वो लीवर के एज वगैरह सब पाल्पेट हो रहा था, ऐसे ही लग रहा था। देन आई एडवाइज्ड हर, उसको जब सोनोग्राफी किया अल्ट्रासाउंड, तो इट वाज अ ह्यूज सुप्रा रीनल ग्लैंड का एनलार्जमेंट था, राइट। सो शायद ऐसी कंडीशन भी कुछ है कि जिसको हम गुल्म के अंडर ले सकते हैं। सो बाकी भी विद्वान जुड़े हुए हैं, प्रोफेसर अनूप इंदोरिया भी मैं देख रहा हूँ उनका नाम कि वो भी है, अनुकूल चंद्राकर सर है, थोड़ा कुछ लाइट इसके ऊपर बता सकते हैं प्लीज सर।
हेलो, यस हेलो सर, गुड आफ्टरनून।
हाँ गुड आफ्टरनून। लेकिन मैंने लास्ट में जोड़ा है, लास्ट स्लाइड में मैं जोड़ पाया हूँ, थोड़ा कुछ काम था, मैं सुन नहीं पाया। लेकिन जो जितना मुझे लास्ट स्लाइड से पता चला कंक्लूडिंग रिमार्क में, कि गुल्म से अर्श से लेकर जितने भी गैस्ट्रोइंटेस्टिनल डिजीजेस हैं उसको ले सकते हैं, मैं उतना ही सुन पाया हूँ। लेकिन मेरे भी क्लिनिकल प्रैक्टिस में मैंने कोई ग्लूमो डायग्नोसिस आज तक नहीं किया है। और लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि मैं बाद में सुनूंगा ये प्रेजेंटेशन को। जो एक अच्छा प्रकाश डाले होंगे, मुझे उम्मीद है डॉक्टर होता। और मैं तो पर्सनली जानता हूँ, और उन्होंने अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन किया होगा, जो मैं बाद में सुन के मैं जरूर, मुझे कुछ नॉलेज उससे मिलेगा। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू
थैंक
सर।
यू सर।
चलो, हेलो जी सर, और तो कोई सवाल है नहीं चैट बॉक्स में भी, तो कंक्लूड कर ले सर इसे।
यस, ऑलरेडी वी आर रनिंग आउट ऑफ टाइम। अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन हुआ, और जैसे मैंने बोला कि bearing thank you very much for bearing torch for the topic like this. चैट बॉक्स में कुछ मैसेज है?
Sir, there is question from Dr. Isha. Sir,
Yes.
can we call Dushti of Rakta in males as a Shonita Gulma?
No, because clearly Acharya has said that Shonita Gurma does not occur in Purusha.
Yes. Yes.
It is clearly mentioned. It occurs only in Stri.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So next Saturday we have a lecture from Vaidya Ketke Aurangabadkar on the topic of Shvitra with special reference to Vishad, Manasik Bhav. So
Sir, she has requested to take lecture on
Friday.
Friday.
Yes, Friday is okay.
Okay, sir.
मुझे तो कोई
3:30
प्रॉब्लम
to
नहीं
5.
है। Yes.
So on this
Because
note,
of some preoccupations and network issue at her home, because after going to we have a good network at college, so office hours में हम कर लेंगे, कोई problem नहीं।
okay. चलिए, कोई बात नहीं. Thank you very much, sir. Professor Manas Ranjan, sir. So it was definitely a good topic and very difficult topic. I always try to skip Gulma while teaching. So definitely I have gained very much knowledge about Gulma. So various concepts actually are there about Gulma. So I would recommend many of my students to go through this lecture on YouTube and Facebook. I'm very thankful to sir. Sir has given time and his precious time to us for this lecture. And especially thanks to Professor Anand Paul sir. He has also skipped some time for us for moderating this and coordinating this lecture series for this month. So I am thankful to all and all the speakers who have joined today. So on this note, with the permission of today's speaker and coordinator, Dr. Anand Paul sir, we would like to conclude today's session. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you, sir.
thank you all.
Thank you all.
Yes.